So welcome everybody to this latest video on 162 Maths, and in this video we're going over an AQA GCSE Maths Foundation topic test around coordinates and linear graphs. Now there will be a copy of the test for you to download in a link that's in the description below for you to have an attempt at either before watching this video or while watching this video as we go through the answers. Now it's worth mentioning before we get started working through this test paper that there is no indication whether these questions refer to non-calculator or calculator paper questions. So we'll just assume that they are non-calculator, as this topic can appear on either the non-calculator or calculator papers. So let's get started on question 1. So question 1 says the point P is reflected in the mirror line. Circle the equation of the mirror line. So here we can see that it's going to be a straight line and a horizontal line at that, which crosses just the y-axis. So this is going to be y equals 2. So I need to circle the fourth option. For 1b, it says work out the coordinates of the reflection of point P. So looking at this, if we can see that it's 3 squares perpendicular to the mirror line. So then I just need to do 3 squares in the opposite direction. And that is where P is going to be. And what coordinate is that? Well, that's going to be 3 minus 1. Moving on to question 2, it says plot the point of minus 3, 2 and 1 minus 2. So A is minus 3, 2, which is here. So we can label that as A. And B is 1 minus 2, which is just there. It then says point C has the same x coordinate as A and is 3 times the y coordinate of B. So looking at this, the same x coordinate as A, well, A is minus 3 and B is 3 times the y ordinate. So if we multiply that number by 3, we get minus 6. So then it's going to be minus 3 minus 6, and minus 3 minus 6 is just there, and we can plot that and make sure that you do label it. It then says circle the 2 answers that describes the triangle ABC, and the 2 you should highlight is that it's an isosceles and a right angle triangle. Now sometimes if you can't see that, I would basically connect the point, see the triangle, and then make your choices from there. Looking at question 3, it says that M is the midpoint of the line AB, and the question is asking us to write down the coordinates of B. So what we're trying to do here is M is the midpoint. We use a different color. So looking at this, if I've got to go 3 down and 3 across, it means then I've got to go 3 down and 3 across again. And this therefore becomes the coordinate of B. And I can write that coordinate as 4 minus 1. And it then says write down the coordinates of the other points on the line AB with midpoint of M. So for this, again, I could have absolutely, all I've got to do is draw a straight line from A and B. And what I'm looking for is any coordinates that lie on this line that I'm drawing, which I'm just going to change the color to make it a bit obvious. Match it up, so any coordinates that lie on that line. So an example would be minus 1, 4, 0, 3. You could have 2, 1, and you could have 3, 0. As long as you're avoiding the coordinates of M and A and B, it should be absolutely fine. And obviously you can even extend that to other points that lie, because obviously it can go beyond that. But I would probably play it safe and just pick 2 of those 4 coordinates. So looking at question 4, it says complete the table for y equals 3x minus 2. So for this, what we need to do is substitute x equals minus 1. So 3 lots of minus 1 minus 2, so that's minus 3 minus 2, which is minus 5. And then for this one here, we're substituting x equals 1, so that's going to be 3 lots of 1 minus 2. So that's 3 take away 2, which is 1. The next thing for me to then do is plot those coordinates. So again, what you want to try and do is not go crazy with how you're plotting it. So at minus 2, it's at minus 8. So that's going to be there. Minus 1 is at 5, and that's going to be there. For 0, it's at minus 2. For 1, it's at 1. Which is there, and 2, 4. Now personally speaking, what I would go for is I would choose the last and the first coordinate that we've got, and then draw your connecting line using those 2 points there. And we just get that so. Sort this point out here. Now, it's always good practice for you to extend your line so that it does go through to the either side of the axes, just to show that the line does go along. Now obviously your points for the odd numbers might be slightly out, but again, if you use even numbers, it just makes it easier. And the reason for that is because your y-axis goes up in 2s. Moving on to question 5, it says work out two coordinates of the 2 points that lie on the line y equals 12 minus 5x. Now, to work out any 2 coordinates of a line, the best option for you to do is to go for x equals 0 and y equals 0. So for this, let's start by doing x equals 0. So if I do x equals 0, I end up with 12 minus 0, which is 12. Now then, for y to equal 0, we can then go for 12 minus 5x. And then from this, we've got 12 equals 5x and x equals 12 over 5, which is absolutely fine. So that would be a set of coordinates that lie. Now, again, another option you could do is basically just randomly pick any values of x and work out what the y is going to be. So when y equals, or when x equals 1, we've got 12 minus 5 times 1, which is 5. 12 take away 5 is going to give me 7. When x is 2, 2 times 5 is 10. Take away from 12 is 2. When x is 3, 5 times 3 is 15. 12 take away 15 is going to give me minus 3. And again, we don't need to go to this extent, but basically what we'll do is we can work out any of these, and any of these could be your answers. And we've got minus 18, minus 23, minus 28, and so forth. Then moving on to question 6, it says that A has a coordinate of 0, 4, and B has a coordinate of 10, 9. It says work out the coordinates of the midpoint M to the line AB. Now for this, let's start by marking out what those coordinates are. So B is 10, 9. So that means that this point here is 10 and this point here is 9. For A, that's at 0. So this is 0 and that is at 4. Now to work out the midpoint, all I've got to do is work out the middle between these x ordinates. And to work out the midpoint is basically all I need to do is add those two numbers up and divide by 2. So 0 plus 10 is 10. Divided by 2 is 5. 9 plus 4 is 13. Divided by 2 is 6.5. And it's just worth checking, make sure that we're not going to need any negative coordinates. But other than that, that should be done.